coming up on At Your Leisure.
Hey, I'm Scott Huntsman.
And I'm Chad Booth. We are going to show you a place that may be closed to off-roading in the near future.
I'm Brett Pennyfather, and I'm floating down the Green River through Dinosaur National Monument.
I'm Reese Stein.
And I'm Mary Ann.
Coming up, we'll meet some boys who refuse to grow up.
They're still playing with toy trains.
But these aren't your run-of-the-mill toys.
You know, Scott, I thought that we had gone past the days where we have to worry about our friends never being able to see stuff like this.
Well, hey, you know, unfortunately, it's knocking on our doorstep.
And once again.
Yeah, once again. Hey, everybody, welcome to At Your Leisure. I'm Scott Huntsman.
And I'm Chad Booth. And with the pending closure of a public comment period on the travel management plan for the area that is just north and west of Moab, we decided it was very important to come down here and talk about this issue, and that's what we're going to do for the show. Okay, this may not be the most rock-roaring At Your Leisure you've ever seen, but this is one of the most important if you love off-roading. You need to stick with us through the full half hour.
Indeed. There is huge impact knocking at our doorstep with all these closures, and knowing that the potential closures can affect up to maybe even a third of the Jeep safari trails.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, this is outrageous to me. Of course, everybody knows I'm a Jeeper. Everybody knows this is my favorite place to come to.
Yeah.
And I want this land open for everybody to use, and every bit of it. I want to bring my grandchildren here and introduce this to them.
I agree, and I find it really troublesome that bureaucratic decisions are being made when people are personally so vested in this. And we'd like you to meet somebody right now who has a real passion for this sport and is really motivated to make things change, as we hope you will be.
Yes.
For my 30th birthday, my husband surprised me and bought me a Jeep. And so the first time we took the Jeep out really was in Moab, here in Moab. And honestly, I just found my passion. Going on the trails, seeing your friends, meeting new people, meeting companies, you know, connecting with all these different people, connecting with the wilderness and the trail, getting your boots on the ground and really just exploring and opening up your heart to all these things. And so when you come out here and you see it for your own eyes, it's eye-opening, really. It's incredible. When I looked at the map and I saw the closures, you know, of some of the most iconic trails in Moab, my heart like literally broke. You know, like you come out here with your family and you come out here and you are living your passion, you're wheeling, you're having a good time, you're meeting new people, and you see on paper, you know, this is going to be closed, and you automatically think of all those memories, and you think of, my kids aren't going to be able to ride that trail anymore. My kids aren't going to be able to see the petroglyphs, you know. My kids aren't going to be able to, you know, have a legacy out here like I did. You know, honestly, off-roading saved my life, and to be out here and just see that we might not be able to come out here anymore, it breaks my heart. It really does.
You know, I think that really puts things in a pretty good perspective.
It does. It means a lot to these people.
Yes, it does.
It means a lot to us.
Yes.
So we've got somebody for you to meet just a little bit later in the show, Ben Burr from the Blue Ribbon Coalition. He's got details on how we can battle these potential closures. Right now, it's time for us to go to a place a little more fun, or where to.
On the Green River, in Dinosaur National Monument, there's a day trip that every outdoor enthusiast is likely to fall in love with.
We're here on the Green River, Split Mountain Canyon of it, and we're rafting about 8 miles today through Split Mountain, running around 1,800 cubic feet per second, class 2 and 3 whitewater, some class 1 floats in between. Beautiful, beautiful scenery. Right here, we're in some 500 million year old limestone rock, the Madison limestone. Lots of unique geology we've seen here from the start, right when we entered Split Mountain Canyon.
With some fun rapids traversing through the epic scenery. This trip will keep the whole family captivated.
We're excited that kids as young as 6 years old could come on this one, because a lot of tours you have to be 8, and our youngest just turned 6, so this was a great chance we could get the whole family out on the river.
By yourself or with a group, this well-organized journey is a unique but comfortable experience.
We see everyone from 7-year-old kids to 85-year-old grown-up kids. And when they get out here in nature, everyone tends to act like a kid as well and just have a good time and smiles on their faces. It's wonderful.
The guides are informative and fun, creating an entertaining atmosphere for all.
They've done a good job of including everybody in the rapids. Everyone gets an equal amount of splash time, putting the kids in situations where they can feel safe but also enjoy themselves.
And all the kids get to participate in rowing and being a part of the experience. It's been really fun.
Focusing on the fun, it's easy to overlook how dedicated the guides are to the well-being of the group.
Oars safety is always number one. All our guides are medically trained. Here in Dinosaur National Monument, we all have wilderness first responders. We're all swiftwater rescue certified, as well as having CPR. We do training every year, making sure that our systems are in place and dialed in.
There's much more to the Split Mountain rafting experience than splashing down the Green River.
Yeah, the petroglyphs add a different element to it to show you that this area has kind of been sought after to be around for a long time. You know, it's a very scenic place and people long ago wanted to be here as well.
Imaginations can run wild trying to understand the clues left behind.
These are the Fremont people. We don't know much about them. Their culture disappeared about 1,000 years ago. So paleontologists, as well as just us, it's kind of just educated guesses. My favorite subject out here. That's why I get excited to do this talk. But like I said, your guess for a lot of these things could be as good as mine. This is my personal favorite panel right here. This one gets me excited. So we're pretty sure this is the confluence where the Yampa and the green meet. And this swirly thing right here, this is one of the only things that we're really certain about. 1054, the Crab Nebula went supernova, and you could see this pattern in the daytime sky for about 6 months. The reason we're so certain about that is it was recorded all over the world, and in Asia, where they had written language, they very extensively documented that.
Whether it's history, nature, or adventure you're interested in, this trip has a bit of everything.
Well, what I love about being out here is, one, seeing people get outside, enjoying nature, hopefully appreciating this wonderful environment we have here. I think when people get to see this stuff, they realize why we have national monuments, national parks, and why these resources are so valuable and worth protecting.
From the awe-inspiring Dinosaur National Monument with this week's Where To, I'm Brett Pennyfather.
Where is Aurora, Utah? That's a good question. But here's a better one. Why should Aurora, Utah be your next destination? Some people will ask, where can I go on my next adventure? A better question is, how far can I go on my next adventure? In Aurora, the answer is as far as your gas tank will take you. Aurora, off I-70 in the heart of central Utah. Aurora, Utah, where the good old days are brand new.
The world food supply is something you don't think much about, but you probably should. The availability of beef is going to be low next year. So rather than pay high store prices, why not consider buying a quarter or half beef from butter-steaks.com. It's premium beef from Yardley, and it is delicious. Stock up now at butter-steaks.com before the prices rise.
When you're ready for adventure, fuel your machine with Clear 91. Fuel for performance, fuel for adventure, and fuel for the long haul. Ethanol-free, 91 octane. Fill up with Clear 91. Only available at Eagles Landing. With you for the long haul.
Welcome back to At Your Leisure. I'm Katy Yardley with Eagles Landing, and welcome to my kitchen. Today we're going to be making my jalapeno au gratin potatoes. They'll tickle your tongue, but without the fire. Come on, let's get cooking. So the first thing you want to do is you want to put 2 tablespoons of butter in a saucepan over about medium-low to medium heat. Once it's melted, you want to put in your diced jalapenos. Now, I take out the membranes and the seeds, but if you want that extra fiery kick, go ahead and leave them in. You want to saute these down for about 3-4 minutes, get them a little soft, tender, and actually let the butter infuse with the flavor of the jalapeno. All right, once they've simmered for about 3 minutes, we go ahead and add 2 cups of heavy whipping cream. Then we add 3 cups of half and half. And then we take 1 package softened cream cheese cut into about 1-inch cubes, and we add it to the mix. Now with this, you want to stir quite often because you don't want your milk to scorch, and you want to keep the cream cheese melting down into your sauce. Go ahead and add some salt and pepper. And then my secret ingredient, fresh ground nutmeg. I usually put about 1/8 of a teaspoon of this in. Once you get all your ingredients in, this is when you want to preheat your oven to 375 degrees. Once your cream mixture has come to a simmer and the cream cheese has actually had a chance to melt and dissolve into the mixture, then what we want to do is we want to start assembling the dish, starting with our potatoes. Go ahead and lay them down in a layer, slightly scalloped. You want them just a little overlapping. Once you have the first layer down, we take about 1/3 of our mixture over here and slowly ladle it over the top. Always put a little bit more salt and pepper on top because potatoes always need a little bit more salt. Then I take sharp white shredded cheese. Then after that, we do another layer of our potatoes. Now the nice thing about this recipe, you can do 3 layers if you want, or you can actually do 4 layers. It's all up to you. All right, once you've got all your layers in, you take your remaining sharp white cheddar, sprinkle it all over the top. Then once you have that, we have about 1 cup of pre-shredded Parmesan cheese you want to sprinkle over the top of that. Cover it, nice big sheet of aluminum foil, and in the oven it goes. 375 degrees for 1 hour and 15 minutes. Remove the foil, and then let cook for about another 15 minutes. Once the potatoes have been cooking for an additional 15 minutes after the foil's been removed, carefully remove the pan from the oven. It's bubbling hot. Now it's got to sit for another 15, 20, even 30 minutes. All right, jalapeno au gratin potatoes. These are so amazing. You have got to try this. We'll be right back with more At Your Leisure.
Jorgensen's Power Sports is your one-stop shop for all of your outdoor adventure needs. We carry a wide variety of ATVs, UTVs, RVs, firearms, outdoor accessories, and much more. Complete with both a service and warranty department. Check us out online at www.jhsport.com or give us a call at 435-896-6408.
Wondering where your next OHV adventure will take you? Outsiders Utah has your answer with downloadable GPS routes, ride times, distance, local amenities, and other details. 360 street views of the trails that let you explore before you go, and more. Eliminate the guesswork and uncertainty and find a trail you'll love. Visit outsidersutah.com and see the trail before you ride the trail.
Daggett, the sparsest populated county in Utah, is full of adventure. Seemingly endless territory, where after a few twists and turns, you can find yourself in a land that feels untouched by time. From desert to mountains and everything in between, Daggett County offers a picture-perfect experience for the modern explorer. It's what you find at the end of your adventure.
At Your Leisure has a long-standing reputation and
a large, loyal audience of adventurers in the outdoors. Although we're excited to continue to grow and enjoy the shared success of our longtime sponsors, we have space for more. And if you have a brand that would benefit from the 2 decades of goodwill that we've built, contact us at ayltv.com and let us amplify your voice above the competition.
Hey everybody, welcome back to At Your Leisure. Here we are in Moab, beautiful area, and I want to introduce Ben Burr, the Executive Director of the Blue Ribbon Coalition.
Yeah, Ben has been in this fight about land access for quite some time, and he was like a very appropriate person to end up heading up the Blue Ribbon Coalition organization. Ben, it's, you know, from my perspective of watching this, since we did Take Back Utah all those years ago.
Yeah.
It's been kind of quiet for a few years, but there've been like things happening under the current that all of a sudden are about ready to explode. What's going on here?
Yeah, no, that's a good observation, Chad, and it's great to be here with At Your Leisure again. Yeah, we are here in the Gemini Bridges and Labyrinth Rim area of Moab. This is an area that has some of the most popular trails on the planet for off-roading, exploring, and outdoor adventures of all kinds. And the BLM is currently involved in a planning process where they're looking at all of the roads and routes in this area to decide which ones they want to keep open, which ones they want to close. There are 437 miles in here that they are looking at closing, and I'll tell you, they're some of the most popular routes on the planet.
So what do we do?
So QR code will take you to a webpage we've prepared. Blue Ribbon Coalition, we've dug into this plan. We've worked with our allies in the off-road community to understand it. We're still learning a lot about it. This will be an ongoing process. And we have till October 7th.
That's just a couple of weeks.
For the public to come and share their thoughts with the BLM about what they want to see in the future of this area. And so we've highlighted some of the issues we think are important here. And we're updating that as we go. And the QR code has a form where you can go make a comment in 30 seconds to the BLM that includes some of the talking points we are concerned about. However, we do strongly advise you customize that. The BLM needs to hear your story about why this area is important to you, why these routes are important to you. And if we can get the whole off-road community, the dispersed camping community, there's e-bikes in play up here, dirt bikes. If you're anybody who wants to come recreate up here on anything other than your own 2 feet, and if you want to do that too, that's great. Most people that hike get here in a vehicle. I didn't see anybody hiking here from the highway. Your access to this area is determined by motorized access, and we want your voice added to this process.
Well, you know, I mean, I would just simply say, and I would reach out. If you're a camper, you're coming in a pickup truck. You can say a Subaru. It doesn't matter what vehicle. That's why it's going to restrict you to get here to this area to be able to do that. It doesn't matter if you're a camper. Again, Jeepers, full size, Blazers, trucks, side-by-sides, motorcycles.
This is public land. It belongs to everybody. We need to be making their experiences an option as well.
The point that I want to make here is you've got 2 weeks, basically, from the time you're seeing this right now to the time your comments are due. So use that QR code and get in your vehicle next week and get on and look at the maps and come down here. So you've got your marching orders. We need 1,000 of you to come down here. I can tell you there are lots of camping sites because we've been looking at them all day, and I've only seen like 2 campsites that have anybody in it. The weather's still good. Do your part. Check this out and come down.
Yep, 100%. It's time. It's time for us to act.
Yep, and time for us to go on to this week's Along the Way.
I'm Reese Stein, at your leisure, at the historic rail yard in Evanston, Wyoming. Trains have been rolling through here since the days of the Golden Spike, and they're still rolling today. Big trains and little trains.
To have fun. Simple as that.
It's lots of fun. It's awesome. It's creative. It's historic.
Because it's fun. I grew up, well, I guess back when I was a kid,
My dad had a Lionel train set in the basement, so there was a whole room that had Lionel trains, and I guess that's probably where it all started.
A child's hobby they never outgrew. Members of the National Model Railroad Association are riding the rails HO scale.
The scale is HO scale, which is 1/87th of real size.
Their trains are running inside the early 20th century Union Pacific machine shop that gives historic ambiance to the event and provides plenty of space for big layouts.
It gives us a chance as a group to set up a very large layout.
Here we have much broader curves and I can run bigger equipment, longer trains. At home I run a train that's maybe 5 to 8 cars long. Here I run 20 to 30 cars long, and there's one guy that has 52 cars on his train right now.
Next door, the well-preserved roundhouse with 27 stalls and turntable where trains were repaired and maintained. We saw a similar manual turntable in action on a recent trip to France. Inside the roundhouse, enthusiasts are restoring old number 4420, an ancient steam locomotive. The city has developed a beautiful plaza with refurbished century-old brick buildings highlighting its historic legacy. The key word of this show is realism. Trains ease across trestles, duck into tunnels, through cities and towns, past real-life structures created in miniature, such as this coal-fired power plant that was once at the mouth of Price Canyon at Castlegate, a biker gang gathering outside a mobile home. To ensure a steady flow, there's a main line through the entire length of the layout, with spurs and secondary lines along the way.
I guess it's the realism, maybe is a better word. Yeah, there's a lot of trains that go past you on the tracks, but they're going someplace. And so for me, to have a destination in mind or a place you're taking some cars to gives you more of a purpose when running across the track.
They spend countless hours on the smallest details.
There is a lot of detail. This building in particular, I scratch built. This one was built stick by stick by stick. You could see even I can lift up, that's one of the vats. This is a pickle salting facility. And you can see the little pickles in there, and like the pickles themselves were made from cumin seeds that I painted.
The identical barrels and meticulous decking, along with the weathered roof, earned Wanless a national award at a recent convention. A miniature world taken from the basement and spread out amid a historic backdrop.
It's just a joy of having something that looks fairly real.
Restart at your leisure along the way in Evanston, Wyoming.
Unexplored. Does it mean riding the same trails as everyone else? Fishing the same lakes? Stopping at the same views? No. Unexplored is so much more. To find it, you need to get off the beaten path. In the northeast corner of Utah, you and your family can still find a land that's unexplored. The shores of Flaming Gorge are only the beginning of a family adventure in Daggett County. Daggett County, Utah. It's what you find at the end of your adventure.
At Stedman's Recreation, trucks are arriving daily with back-ordered side-by-sides, ATVs, and dirt bikes. Let Stedman's Recreation help get you outside so you can explore and create memories to last a lifetime. Call or stop by Stedman's to hold your side-by-side, ATV, or dirt bike with a small deposit. Yamaha, Honda, Polaris, and Beta. Plus, Stedman's has a full service department and Honda power equipment.
Stedman's Recreation in Tooele. You may think it's 300 miles out here, but remember, it's only 30 miles back.
Everybody always talks about the good old days when the grass was greener, the air was clearer, and adventure could be found in any direction. Well, the good old days are still here. You just need to know where to look. In Aurora, Utah, you can find everything you want out of life. Limitless OHV access, views that ignite the imagination, and destinations that remind you how the good old days are closer than you thought. Aurora, Utah, where the good old days are brand new.
There we go. Oh, there we go. I rattled Chad Booth a little bit.
Yeah, well, maybe. I kept playing like Donald Trump. I kept trying to grab the wheel. Welcome back to At Your Leisure. This is part of the 7 Mile Rim Trail.
It is.
And I think this place has an apt name.
Yeah, Wipeout Hill.
Wipeout Hill, and
yes.
You just about did.
And we made it up, though.
I got to tell you, though, Huntsman is such a competitive spirit, because when he didn't quite make it there, man, his jaw stuck out and he was mad. Yeah, exactly. So you look just like that. Anyway, if you didn't get a chance to catch that QR code for Blue Ribbon Coalition, so you can comment on this, here it is. Please do it again. Go down next week. And I tell you what, we'll tell you what you'll be missing on the show if you don't. Here's a look at it. Next week, we're showing you that the boating season is not over yet, if you know where to go. Then we will complete our series on things to do in Daggett County with a scenic gem of a ride. Finally, the AYL crew asked the question, who is Road Trip Ryan and why is he hiking on Silver Island? Now, we want to share something really exciting with you that may change the way you enjoy the United States of adventure. Our new AYL 24/7 site is now live, and we've packed it with the kinds of fun, informative, and behind-the-scenes things that our fans have always asked for. Virtual ride-alongs, bloopers, tips on how we do exactly what we're doing in each show, plus some vintage video as well. And by supporting us on this site, we're able to do more of the things you want us to cover. And as a member, you get to be part of our production team. Most of all, it goes a long way to help keep AYL coming your way each week. Go to AYLTV.com and find out more.
Hey, it looks like a lot of great things coming on At Your Leisure.
Yeah, particularly see if Keith can get up tippy slip.
Tippy slick.
Yeah, tippy slick.
Tippy slick.
That's a hard one to say.
I love it.
All right, well, listen, thanks for sticking with us through the half hour. You're champions. Be part of the team. I'm getting on there right as soon as we're done. I am making my comments, and I'm including a couple of pictures with mine. So just remember, there's adventure around every bend.
Yeah, hey, and if you don't get out and comment on this subject today, there won't be any adventure down here.
That's true. So just remember that. We'll be looking for you at your leisure. Did he make it? He did.
Oh, yeah.